This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. Hi, good morning all. So let's get started now. So yesterday we implemented address details scenario, right? So by using data transform as well as activity. Okay. So now we are going to build second screen, which will be the loan details screen. Okay. And so this loan details screen is common for both home loan and auto loan. Okay. So put heading design and implement loan details screen. Okay, so the loan details is common for both home loan and auto loan. So where we need to create that if it is common for both in the work class, right? Yeah. So before that, so we need to create the properties. Okay. So for loan details, so we need some properties. So we create a data class with those properties, and here we will create a loan details page property, and we refer those properties by using the page reference. Okay, so step one, so create a loan details data class with the properties. Okay, so go to the data type, add data type called loan details. Okay, so let's create a properties loan type, so which will be a drop down property. Okay, so here, so we have a option called pick list, and we can enter the values. Okay, loan type, and specify the values, home loan and auto loan. So user can select either home loan or auto loan from the drop down. Okay, so if it is home loan, then we need to default it to the home loan. Let's say you've executed the auto loan flow, so we should not allow user to modify the value from the drop down. So we need to default it to auto loan. Okay, next, the loan purpose. So which is also drop down. Okay, so if it is a home loan, so we have the purposes, either it can be a purchase or refinance, and if it is auto loan, either it can be a new vehicle or old vehicle. Okay, so we'll discuss more about this loan purposes. So now enter these values: purchase, the refinance, and new vehicle, old vehicle. So later we need to restrict these values. Okay, so if we are executing auto loan, you should not display purchase and refinance. Okay, so if it is home loan, you need to display these two only. Okay, that we will handle later. Clear? So now terms, these are the different loan terms. Again, it is a pick list, means drop down, and here we can enter the values. Let's say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, 25 and 30. So you can enter up to 30 years. Okay. And so we use, let's put 3 years. So we use 3, 4, 5 for auto loan and remaining terms for home loan. Okay. So by default, it will be displayed, all the values, either you execute home loan or auto loan, but we need to restrict those. Okay. Here. So now let's create a property called amount, which is loan amount, and which will be a decimal, and the down payment. So let's say borrower purchasing a home, and the asking price will be a total value of the home and down payment. So how much borrower is going to pay initially. Okay, and this is the asking price, means the total value of the home. Okay, so let's create a property called PMI premium, which will be also decimal. Okay, so this is private mortgage insurance. Let's say borrower is paying very less down payment. For example, bank says that if borrower pays less than 20% of the asking price as a down payment, then borrower has to pay PMI premium as part of the monthly installments. Okay, so based on that, so we need to determine PMI premium also. Okay, clear? So loan type, loan purpose, terms, 7 properties, right? Okay, clear. So now let's create loan details page property in the work class and specify this class the same way how we did for other things. Yeah, the next step, create page property called loan details, or you can put loan info or whatever it, and specify above created class as a page definition. Okay, just we can note down, create a page property and call the class. That's it. Okay, so let's create a property called loan details in the work class. Which will be a page property and call the class. Okay, so now how can we use these properties? By using this page reference. Okay, so go to the loan details and you see all the properties which are available in that class. Okay, so now we have properties ready. What is the next step? Create a section called collect loan details. Create a section collect loan details in our class. And you need to call the properties. What is the section name? Collect loan details. Okay, so let's use the properties here. So we need to use the required properties. So here we need the loan type. Okay, go to the loan details. So what is the page we need to specify? Loan details. Okay, so now take the loan purpose, and so we need the loan amount and terms. Okay, so we use these other properties in the different screens, and some properties so we just so PMI premium, we don't show that in the UI, but we will calculate in the backend. Okay, clear? So now make it inline git double. So guys, put on mute please if you're not speaking. So loan type, the loan purpose, the amount, and the terms. Okay. Clear? So now let's create. And for all the drop downs, what we need to do is we need to put the placeholder. So by default, if you execute home loan or auto loan, so by default, so you will see some value in the drop down. Okay, it should not be defaulted. So sometimes your users might forget about selecting the value. So if you make mandatory and put some placeholder, user must need to select the value from the drop down. Okay, so now put placeholder. Okay, so this is not a value, select dot dot. Okay, so that will be displayed by default. For loan type it is not required because we are making it read only. Okay, so now section ready. So what is the next step? Create flow action. So flows we will not create. Already we have flows in auto loan and home loan. Just we create the flow action and we invoke in the flow. Okay, so create a flow action call, collect loan details. Okay, so now next step is
flow.
Invoke the flow action in both the flows. Okay, note down this step. The first step is create a flow action and invoke in the flows. So that means like inside the flow action you need to put section also, that is mandatory, right? Create a flow action and invoke the section and invoke the flow action in the flow. Okay, so now let's open auto loan flow. So how many assignments we have so far? How many assignments we defined here? So we have only one assignment, right? So one claim. So now, so if you want to add one more flow action, so we need a one more screen, right? So once you submit the first screen, second screen should be open, that is loan details. Okay, so now add one more assignment. Okay,
Satya, sorry to interrupt. I have a question. So in the organization, it should be created like as a one flow action for the entire thing. We are going to.
exactly. Yeah, so yeah, let's say you go to the bank, so you provide the details and they will capture into the application. So first they will enter, all the customer details, and then loan details, then like, specific, details. Let's say if it is auto loan, so you need to, provide the details about vehicle information, vehicle, right? Then, so once you submit that screen, then, loan documents like that. Okay. And so once you submit all the information, so it will go to the manager, I mean like for approval purpose. And so once they approve it, it will be completed. Okay. So similarly here also, when you execute auto loan, so you'll be able to see all the screens one by one.
So
Okay.
it means that as a every implementation layer, I mean implementation, we are going to be created like as a auto loan is different and
Yeah,
other loan is
exactly.
different. Okay.
Yeah, it is different, right? And sometimes, so we create the specific details. Let's say the next screen will be, different from, both are different. Auto loan is different from home loan. Okay. So in that case, so we create, properties or whatever the screens, under auto loan, and we use in this flow. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So
Satya,
that
got
we
it.
don't create under work class.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So now let's put assignment label as loan details. Okay. So now similarly, go to the home loan and invoke the flow action. Check out the rule, add assignment. Collect loan details. Okay. So here we have an option to align either horizontally or vertically. So vertically means you will get the flow like this. So you have to scroll down to see the complete flow. Okay. So generally we put the flow in horizontal way. Okay. And so you can adjust with the mouse, this like, if you want to increase the size of the flow. Okay. So you can do that. So if we have, lot of shapes in the flow, and if you want to see, the complete flow, so you can drag like this. So here we have an option. So let's say if we have 30 assignments and we cannot see, a complete flow at a time, right? So we can, view like this. Okay. So now save the flow and let's execute either home loan or auto loan. Okay, this is the first screen. And see, so we executed auto loan and it is defaulting to home loan, right? So it should not be the case. So if we execute auto loan, it has to be defaulted to the auto loan and we can make it read only. Okay. Similarly for home loan. So now how can we set this value? So if we execute auto loan, we should be able to see auto loan is defaulted and it is read only. So read only we can, So we can make this complete field read only. Okay, and so we need to handle that default value. Okay, how can we do that? Already work there someone. So what is the rule? We have to do default the values to assign the values to the properties.
Set
So we have a
properties
data transfer, right? So property
Yeah.
set a method of activity. Yeah, so by using that also we can do, but so again you'll have to create a new rule. So if it is the activity, yeah, so you create an activity with the property set and assign loan type as auto loan, yeah, for auto loan, and home loan for home loan. Okay, you can do that by using activity. Again, you need to create a rule and you need to invoke somewhere, right? Before before displaying the screen. Okay, so we have already data transform available in all the work types, and you just specify that value, loan type, and the value is auto loan in the auto loan py default. That's it. So you don't need to invoke again, because it is already being invoked. Okay, see, now go to the auto loan py default, data transform, checkout, and so what is the property? Yes, we are using set only. It's like property set. Okay, so what is the property? Loan type. So loan type is available in which page? Loan details. So loan details dot loan type. What is the value? Auto loan. Okay, that's it. Similarly, go to the home loan py default. That means when you execute auto loan, this will be executed. When you execute home loan, so home loan class py default will be executed. Okay, so here we will add home loan. Okay, so check in the rule. So now let's execute. So we need to make it read only, right? Otherwise, again we'll be able to modify that. So go to the collect loan details, go to the loan type, so we can make it read only always. It is not conditional based, right? Either we execute auto loan or home loan, it should be defaulted and user should not be able to modify it. Okay, so now let's execute any flow. That's it. Okay, so even without so you can create as this single value property without drop down control. So you can create a property with the text input. So since we are defaulting it, okay, in sometimes, let's say if we are allowing user to change the loan type, then it should be a drop down. Okay, so in this case, if you want, you can create as a single value property with the text input, and you can assign the value like this. Okay, and see, it is read only, so I'm not able to edit this. So now if we execute home loan, so it is defaulting to home loan and it is read only. And so we need to handle other values also. So we cannot do this through data transfer. Okay, so we can do, but like again, so we need to so create a separate rule, or so we need to modify the page context, like page structure, the same way, like so for country, state, city, so we use the clipboard page, right? Okay, in the same way, So we need to handle it. Okay. So if we execute home loan, so only purchase and refinance value should be displayed. If it is auto loan, only new vehicle and old vehicle. Okay. So we will handle this later. Any questions so far? Is it clear? So now we are going to implement auto loan screen. Okay. So which is applicable for only auto loan details, auto loan work type. So put it in.
Satya,
Yeah.
Vinod here. I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, in the real time also, when you want to like default any properties, so we have to have that py default as a data transform.
Exactly.
We
So
can
yeah. No. In the real-time applications also it will be with the same name. Okay. This is the
okay.
standard one. Okay. So and we use this data transform to default the values. And let's say in some cases, so we created a separate data transform to handle address details. So in those cases we create separate tools. Okay, this is just to default. So whenever you execute a flow, this will be executed at that point of time. If you want to assign some values to the properties, so we use this p by default. So for work object prefix and so to set some work type values. So let's say in the clipboard, so other than this loan type, so how can we identify whether it is a auto loan or home loan? So we do not have any property, right? So you can create a generic property called work type, and you can assign auto loan to that auto loan to that property in the auto loan p by default, and in the home loan p by default you will assign home loan. So you can do that way also. Okay, so here we can identify through this one, but this is in the second screen, right? So before executing this screen, I want to determine the type of the loan. Okay. Okay, but here also, okay, yeah, since we are setting here, so this is also fine. So whenever you execute a flow, so you will see that auto loan value will be assigned to loan type property. Okay. Yeah, so in the real-time applications also we use the same rule. Okay.
No,
So
okay.
now
Yeah, thank you.
let's design or implement auto loan details screen. Okay, so this will be the specific to auto loan. Okay, so in this case, so where we need to create all the things like section, and if you are using any properties in that section, and we can create under auto loan class itself. Okay, because we are not going to use those things for home loan. Okay, so now, so first what we do is, so we will create a data class with the data. Okay, we'll be creating a data class called win details with all the information like win, like vehicle identification number, make, model year, etc. And so in the section in the UI also we create the similar properties, so and like win, make, model year, and in the win, so we'll have a values in the win is a drop down property, and inside that we put the values like unique values. So whenever we select a value win number, it has to fetch the corresponding make, model year from the database and display on the UI. Okay, so let's design the screen here. So we'll be creating a data class called win details, and properties are win, make model here like this, just to understand. And win, let's say PNC 001, and make, let's say, BMW X1 2017. Okay, like this. So now, and the UI also will have the same properties. Let's say so win. So this will be the drop down property. So whatever the values, whatever the wins we have in the database, those values will be available here. Okay, like PNC 001, 002, etc. And so we'll have the properties like make model here. Okay, so now if I select PNC 001 from the drop down, it has to display the corresponding entries, like details. Make should be BMW model X1 and the corresponding model here. So if you select win as a PNC 002, it has to display the corresponding details. Okay, so clear. So that means whatever the win we select, so usually that property available on which page on the clipboard. So let's say we selected PNC 001 from the drop down. So where that property will be available?
The clipboard.
PY work page, right? If it is UI data, it will be available on PY work page. Okay. So you have, it will be like this, right? Let's say you selected PNC 001. If you change the value again, it will be posted to the clipboard and available on PY work page. So now you need to take this win and you need to pass it to a method called. So what is the method we have? What is the activity method we have to fetch a
OBJ
record?
OBJ
Single
browse.
record.
For OBJ page new.
OBJ open, right?
Sorry.
So here we are going to fetch a single record only, based on the primary key. So what is the definition of OBJ open? Is to fetch a single record based on the class level primary key. Okay, so class will be a win details here and the primary key will be a win. Okay, so we must need to pass win as a key and it will fetch the corresponding record. Same like so let's assume that so we have a list of employees in the employee database in the database, and so we pass employee ID and fetch the corresponding employee information, right? So similarly here also. Okay, any question now? So we pass the win as a key to the OBJ open method, and where that OBJ open put the data corresponding information. Okay, it will put on some page, let's say win details. So once it fetches the data from the database, it will put on some page that we need to create. Okay, let's say win details. So in the win details, you will see again win, the corresponding make, corresponding model and year. Okay, so now we have the data available on this page, and if we want to display here, to which properties we need to map? Obviously PY work page properties. So these properties part of our class, and so if you assign these values to these properties on the PY work page, those will be displayed here. Okay, so now let's say you are selecting some value and that is available on PY work page, right? And if you assign some value to the properties and if you use those properties on the UI, so you can see the same data. Okay, it is a replica of so UI is replica of clipboard. So whatever the data you see on the clipboard, and if you use those properties, you will see that data. Okay. Any question here? And we use property set method to assign the values to the properties. That's it. Okay. So this is how it is going to be. Okay. So you understand theoretically? Concept clear, right? So it's just we are passing the win and fetching the corresponding record. Okay. The step one. Create win details data class. Create the first step. Okay, let me write down here. So design or implement. So have we noted down that? Okay. So the step one. So create win details data class and specify the data. So here we are not only creating the properties, we are also going to enter the data. Okay. And so some dedicated table will be created in the database. Okay. And when we use the class here, internally it will fetch the data from that connected class, connected table. Okay. So win details. What are the properties we need? Win. So this will be drop down. So we'll change that later. Make model okay, here it is not required, it is not a drop down. So here just we are entering the data, right? So we are not selecting from drop down. Okay, so model here. So in the UI property, it should be a drop down. It is model here is integer. Okay, so win make model here, and we need okay, that's it. Yeah. So let's make win as a primary key. Okay, so is clear. So need to create the properties win make model here. So model here is a integer. So now go to the sources, create and select the win as a key and submit it. So these are like simply select the queries. Okay, but here the where we are passing the classes and all is different. Okay. So in the Designer Studio, we never use the tables. Okay, we use the classes, but the PRPC, will handle that. Like it will go to the connected table and it will fetch the data. So now, so when we create data class and enter some data, a table will be created in the database, right? But in the OBJ open, so we don't pass the table, so we pass the class, but it will fetch from the connected table. Okay, so everywhere we pass the classes only, not the tables. Okay, so win, let's say PNC 001 model year, let's say model something like this. Let's enter some data. PNC 00, okay, it's not a PMC. So we cannot change that primary key. Okay, so once it is saved, so we cannot edit that. So remaining details we can modify. PNC 001 model year, let's say 2018, and PNC 002. Okay, so now let's tell me one more. Okay, so likewise you can enter some instances, some records. So now, so in order to display on the user interface, so we need the same properties, or so similar kind of properties in the work class. So now let's create the same properties like win, make, model year in the auto loan work class. Okay, so or else we can also use these properties. Okay, so the data class serves two different purposes. So you can use the properties as well as we can also maintain the instances. Okay, so now can't we use the same properties to be displayed on the UI? First what we do is, so we create a separate properties, and then we'll see how to handle without creating those properties. So we have already properties available here, and in the same way, like we can create a page property and use this class, and we can refer those properties like win details dot make model like that. So while fetching, you will pass this class, you fetch the data and put on some page. That will be a top level page. Let's say win details. You are taking the values from win details and you are mapping to the PY work page win details page. Okay, got it? So that is the good way, better way, because again we don't need to create these properties, right? So we can reuse these, right? So how can we do? Can we create the properties and do, or can we reuse these properties?
We'll
So
reuse
let's
this.
create separate properties, and I will tell you so how to reuse this the same way. Okay, we will do both the ways. Okay, so now here we are going to create the separate properties. Okay, write down this step. The first step is done, right? So create a data class and enter some data. And the second step, create properties in the auto loan class. Okay, right click on the auto loan class and create it. Let's say win, so it will be a drop down here. What is that? Let's say PNC 001, PNC 002, like this. Okay, so if we select PNC 001 which exists in the database, so it will fetch the data. So if we are selecting PNC 004, so we do not have a corresponding record, right? So in that case, it has to display a message saying that win does not exist in the database. That we need to handle. Okay. Next, make model and model year. Okay. So now let's create a collect auto loan details section and use these properties. Okay. The next step, create collect auto loan details section and specify these properties. Okay, so make it, yeah, put some placeholder. So now, see, I want the properties to be displayed, one by one, not like this. So what we can do is, can make it default, right? But again, like it is taking the whole space. So, I want, half of this screen. So what we can do, so make it inline grid double, use one more layout. So double means in the single row, two different elements, either it can be layouts or controls. Okay, so now use all the properties, drag the properties inside this layout like this. Okay, win, make model, model here. Clear? So now where we need to write the logic? So whenever you change the values, the logic should be executed, and that will uh, copy the details, that will copy the details to here. Okay, so now, so whenever the drop down value changes, activity has to be executed. So here we are going to write an activity to fetch the single report. Okay, so we need to create an action set, and so mouse event will be a, yeah, the value, yeah, you can put click or change also. Okay, I think click will not work here. If it is button or checkbox, we use the click. So we are clicking on that. So here we are just selecting the value, right? That means the value is getting changed. Okay, and action should be the refresh the current section, and so here activity will be invoked. Okay, so write an activity called fetch win details. Okay, we create activity from here itself. Okay, so tell me, so how many classes are involving here? So one is auto loan class, because we take some property, let's say win. So you selected win value, and that will be available on PY workpage. Okay, and so here we have a win details data class. Okay, so auto loan class page, that is PY workpage, you don't need to create it, but you need to define by referring to auto loan. Okay, that means whenever you execute auto loan flow, so PY workpage will be created by referring to that. And let's define a page called win details or win info, whatever it, by referring to win details data class. So now this page we need to create. Take this. How do we create the page? So that means, so whenever this is executed, this activity executes, it will create a win details page on the clipboard. So now we need to put the data on this through obj open. Okay, so obj open, and the step page will be win details. So the open record will be available on this page on the clipboard. So this is a top level page. Okay. So which class we are going to use? Win details. So now what is the primary key here? Win, right? So now instead of win, I'm going to select make or model, whatever it. Okay. And let's save it. So what happening? The property name should match with the keys win defined for the class. Okay. So this is important for interviews also. Sometimes they will ask like, what will happen if you select other than primary key. So even it will not allow you to save the rule. So it is design time error. So runtime error will be different. So let's say you selected okay, we define this win, and so we are passing the value which does not exist in the database. So that will be runtime error. Okay. So at the time of design, so it cannot identify, right? So whether the data is available or not. Okay. So and from where we need to pass this primary key?
From UI.
UI, right? So that will be available on in which page on the clipboard? So look at this diagram and tell me. PY workpage, right? So PY workpage dot PY workpage dot win. That's it. Okay. So whatever win you select, that will be assigned to this property to fetch that corresponding record. Okay. So now once the second step is executed, you will have the data available on win details page, and we need to map it to the UI properties. So what is the method we need to use? So we have the data available on win details, and we need to map it to work page properties. So what is the method we have to map? Property set, right? So when I say map or assigning values to the properties or defaulting, all are same, right? But yeah, so property set. You need to understand the concept. So if I ask you to what is the method to assign the values to the properties, then only you will say property set. It's not like that, right? So mapping also same, right? So now here the step page. So what we need to use? Either we can use PY workpage or win details. So let's say if I use the PY workpage here, the subsequent steps, right? So you don't need to specify again PY workpage dot property name like that. So you can directly use these properties by using dot reference. Let's say we defined step page as PY workpage, and we have a property make. So you can directly use like this. So that means PY workpage dot make. But here you cannot just use make. Again, it will take PY workpage dot make is equivalent to PY workpage dot make. Null will be assigned to null. Nothing will be. So we need to take this make value from win details page. So win details dot make. So if I use step page as win details, then yeah, here we need to put PY workpage dot make. Here directly we can specify make. So okay. So you can specify either PY workpage or win details as a step page, but based on that you need to define the subsequent steps. Okay. Now here see, understand? Now model, that means see here, we are selecting the properties from the class of this page or inheritance path. So even you can select these properties also. Right? Now model. And model here. Okay. Clear? Any questions here? That's what, like if you have more properties, then you need to map like this in the same way. Okay, so now let's copy the same step. Let's say I want to copy this step to here. You can do. And here I'm going to specify win details. So we'll test both. Okay. So in this case here, yeah, so we need to put py work page dot. Can we put like this? So this is also fine, right? Now, do we need to remove this or not? Is it a mandatory to remove? So this is a mandatory to put the page, but this is not mandatory. Okay. So if you want, you can remove. Let's say you don't need to specify. Even if it's specified like this, nothing will happen. It will work. Okay. So either you remove or if you put, it will work. Okay. Got it or any confusion? So now, let's say I don't want this step to be executed. So what we need to do? So you created the activity with the 10 steps and yeah, so you can put the comments like this. So that this step will not be executed. Okay. So some developer created an activity with the 15 steps, and you are modifying that and as per the requirement, so you will have to comment some steps. Or you want to remove it. So generally we should not, we don't remove the steps if it is modified by created by another developer. So we just comment those steps. Later if you want to restore it, so we can uncomment it. So if you remove it again, so you need to refer the previous version. Let's say if it is the initial version, so you will not see those steps again. You need to create it. Okay. So if you are thinking that it is not required at all, so you can remove it. Otherwise, you can just comment it, and you can uncomment if it is required later. Okay. So now we are invoking this here, right? On click on change of the drop down. Okay. So now can we test this? So let's create a flow action under AutoLearn class and invoke this section and take the flow action and invoke in the flow. Okay. So we'll close in 5 minutes. So note down next step. Activity note చేసుకున్నారా steps. Let's create flow action called collect auto loan details. Okay. So now go to the auto loan flow and add one more assignment. That's it. Okay. So now let's execute it. So first screen will be borrower details. Then once you submit, you will see the loan details, then auto loan details. Okay. So now I'm going to select PNC 001. So open the tracer. Okay. So this we can, alignment. So we can do that. So we can make this value displayed here. Okay. See now. So this is, so when you change the value, when you select the value, activity will be executed because we invoked there, right? And see, so it has the first step, status good, and it created a new page that is win details. Okay. So parallelly, so we will check the clipboard also. Okay, you can see the clipboard later. Yeah. So the new page has been created, that is Win details, and in the OBJ open. So after executing the OBJ open, you see the corresponding data. So make model, the corresponding make model here. Okay, and after assigning, you will see the data on PY workpage. This is the start step. So since it is assigned to the PY workpage and the same properties we invoked on the section, you are able to see this data. Okay, so if we are not specifying the property, which is assigned in the property set, let's say we use all these properties, and that's the reason we are able to see here. And if you're not assigning to these properties, you don't see the data. Okay, whatever the properties we use in the UI, we need to assign the data to the same properties. Okay, so let's say we are getting the data here. So data is available on this page, but we are not able to see on the UI. That means some mapping issue. Okay, we are not assigning the values to the properties correctly. Okay, so now I will comment third step and uncomment fourth step. Okay, so will it work or not? The same, right? Okay, so now I'm going to select PNC 004. What happened? No data, right? Because we do not have data available. Yeah, so now let's see. This is fine. And now I'm going to select PNC 004 and let's see what will happen. The OBJ open failed. So what is the reason? Unable to open an instance using the given inputs. Okay, Win PNC 004 does not exist. Okay, so we need to handle this by using the transition step. That means the post condition. So once OBJ open is executed, then only we will come to know whether it is failed or succeeded, right? So we have a post condition. So here we have to handle it. So if it is failed, so we need to jump to the later step. So where we display some error message. Okay. So we'll continue this part tomorrow. Any questions? So you need to practice it. So did you practice yesterday's scenario? That is simple, right? Data transfer, simple steps. And you do the same scenario by using activity also. You can try that. Okay. And so here today, just so we, as part of this scenario, so we created data class with the data. It is similar to country details, state details, city details. Okay. And so we created some properties, and we mapped the data by fetching from the database. So since we are fetching always a single record, we use OBJ open. Okay, for country detail scenario, so where so we help we used to display multiple records, right? The multiple values. So that's the reason we use OBJ browse. That is for multiple records. So here, at any point of time, we fetch only single record. Okay. And in the next class, we will handle this part, error handling. If it is fail, we will jump to the later step, let's say fifth step. And so where we have a method called property set messages. By using that, we can display message on the property itself saying that Win doesn't exist. Okay. And so we will handle this part like so we created properties under auto loan. So without using these properties, we can use the data class properties, and we can also display the data the same way. Okay, that's it for today. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you, Satya.
Yeah.